everybody, a welcome in or a welcome back. Do you remember Savannah Soto and Matthew Gadara gunned down on December 21st of 2023, Leon Valley, aka San Antonio, Texas, and she was 9 months pregnant? Well, I have an update, and with that, let's get into it.
Monkey Mar covers true crime stories. The missing, murder, forensics, motive, suspects, trials, unbiased, no filter, addicted crime junkie, Monkey Mar. Leave the hate at the door.
A pregnant 18-year-old named Savanah Soto was reported missing on December 22, 2023, and was last seen in a gray Kia Optima just days before Christmas. Reports later stated that her boyfriend, Matthew Kaye, had also been missing. The families of the two were shocked to find out what had happened to the young parents-to-be.
Let's do a complete timeline of the disappearance of Savanah Soto and Matthew Gadara. From December 21st through December 25th of 2023, 18-year-old Savanah Soto, who is 9 months pregnant, is last seen at her apartment in Leon Valley, Texas. She was scheduled to be induced into labor the following day. This is one of those crimes, to me, that is so senseless. Like most of them, but this one just really bothered me. December 22nd, Savannah misses her induction appointment. Her family reported her missing, sparking a massive social media search and a regional silver alert. December 23rd through the 25th, police begin searching for the gray Kia Optima belonging to Savannah's boyfriend, 22-year-old Matthew Gadara. Rumors and concerns about Matthew's alleged involvement in money-making activities begins to circulate. December 26th, 2023, a person at an apartment complex on Danny Kaye Drive spots the Kia Optima. Police arrive and find 2 bodies inside. Investigators find Savannah in the front passenger seat and Matthew in the back. Both had been shot in the head. Tragically, their unborn son, Fabian, also died. I will never understand this one. The medical examiner eventually rules the deaths a double homicide. Matthew also had a gunshot wound to the head, initially complicating the murder-suicide theories that briefly circulated online. December 27, 2023 into January 2024, police released surveillance footage showing a dark colored Chevy Silverado pulling up next to the Kia Optima at the Danny Kaye apartments on the night of the murders. A person of interest is seen handing a towel to the driver of the Kia. On January 3rd, 2024, using GPS data from Matthew's phone and surveillance, Breadcrumbs police tracked the truck to a home on Charlie Chan Drive. 19-year-old Christopher Preciado is arrested and charged with capital murder. His father, Ramon Preciado, is arrested and charged with abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence for helping his son move the bodies. Police reveal the killings occurred during a botched drug deal involving $300 worth of marijuana. Unbelievable. January 10th, 2024, Emerta Romanos, a Christopher's stepmother, is arrested and charged with tampering and abuse of a corpse after a gun used in the killings is found in her home, and she is seen on video during the cover-up. 2024 into 2025, the case moves through the Bexar County court systems. Prosecutors announce they will not seek the death penalty, meaning a capital murder conviction would result in automatic life without parole. From what I am hearing, the reason why they are not seeking the death penalty, and do your own research, guys, as I probably should have before I said this, is that the prosecutors that are trying this case, or actually tried it, do not believe in the death sentence. That's a little strange to be a prosecutor in Texas and not believe in the death sentence. I think if anything deserves the death penalty, it's Christopher. What he did was so senseless, and the fact that she was going to be giving birth the day after. Well, so then late 2025, charges against Murta Romanos are dismissed due to procedural delays through the DA's office. Indicates they could be refiled. Well, why are they not refiled as of today? I'm sorry. She knew. People look for their babies and the grandbaby for days. And her being a mother? Nah, she could not possibly get out of this with not a little bit of jail time, in my opinion. So Christopher Preciado's trial began. He went to trial March 18th, 2026. There were no cameras allowed. Prosecutors present forensic evidence showing the execution-style nature of the wounds. They show the jury the blood-stained interior of the Kia and play the surveillance video of the father and son meeting at the apartments. Christopher takes the stand in his own defense. He claims Matthew Gadara pulled a gun on him during the drug deal and that the gun went off during a struggle. He characterizes the deaths as a tragic accident, a self-defense. I call absolute bullshit. The medical examiner testifies that the angle of the shots and the lack of stippling, the gunpowder burns, on the victims suggest they were shot from a distance, contradicting the struggle narrative. March 26th, 2026. A few days ago, after less than 2 hours of deliberation, the jury finds Christopher Preciado guilty of capital murder. Judge Jennifer Pena sentences him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Savannah's and Matthew's family deliver heart-wrenching impact statements, calling Christopher a monster who killed a family for $300. Now, there are also some things going on regarding Christopher's father, but I am going to put that into its own video. I think this case was absolutely senseless. What Christopher needed, what Christopher wanted, I bet if he would have said, hey, Matthew, can I borrow a little bit of money? Blah, blah. Hey, maybe he would have helped him out. But nah, as far as his parents, I think the father being out on bail is despicable, but we'll get into that in my next video. The mom needs to be charged, and Christopher should be sitting on death row, but now he'll spend the rest of his life in prison. If Christopher goes into open population, I do not think he is going to make it a very long, because I guarantee there has to be people in there that will know what he did and probably take him out of his misery. He probably would have been safer on death row. Drop your comments. I want to hear from you. But with that, it is a wrap. Everybody, thank you for coming in. Please make sure you click the like, the subscribe, and the bell for notifications so you do not miss the next time we drop a video and or hopefully go live. Everybody, have a good day or good night wherever you are in the world and stay vigilant. I am out.